It's the next day and I'm ready to get started on these chairs. So two things that I forgot to tell you about in the supplies list. One is about the fabric. So I actually bought two kinds of fabric for this. I just forgot. I bought the Grainsack with this stripe, and then I also bought the complimentary solid, which kind of looks like drop cloth, but it'll be the same texture as the rest of it, so that I can use this here. This, I can't remember, but this might have been a little bit cheaper, and I just bought a whole lot extra. So the other thing that I wanted to say about the fabric is that there are lots of charts online that you can look up for your specific chair to see how much fabric that you need. So I'm not going to go over that here. I'll try to find a link and I'll put it down in the description. You can go to one of those sites and figure out how much fabric you need for the chair that you need, because they'll give you a little image and all that. Anyway, whatever number they tell you, however many yards they tell you to get, go ahead and get some extra. Like if you can, swing another 2 yards, because you can always use it for throw pillows or something like that. But it's always best to have more than you need. You don't want to run out of fabric. You just don't want to run out of fabric. The other thing that I forgot to tell you, as far as supplies are concerned, is a little stool that I use all the time. Let me show you. It's this little stool right here. I had to run out to my outdoor workshop to grab it. It's one of these, I think it's a mechanic's tool actually. It has a padded seat. Mine is very well used. You can see it has a nice little tray that as you're sitting here, you can keep some supplies like your pliers down here. And it's on casters, so it moves all around. And also that part right there, let's get in there, that is adjustable. So you can bring it up or lower it to whatever height you need. So I'm going to have all the supplies listed in the description. And yeah, this is a necessary thing right there. This piece has a lot of these beautiful upholstery tacks on the trim. So let me show you these. Let's see here, there we go. And when you pull them out, a lot of times the shank on it will bend. If they don't bend, often I will save them because that just saves on the cost of all the supplies. And I just throw them in a little tin can. You might have seen this in my last video. I just got this, but I just throw them into something so that I can keep them, and that way I have them if I need them. Now, the way that you remove those is this tool. It has these little prongs on it, and they just fit right under that tack. Now, I would advise that you not just take this and fling it back like that, because you're going to have tacks all over the place. What I do is I work it under there, and then I hold it with my finger, and then you can lift it and you've got the tack under control and drop it right in there. Now this is pretty labor intensive. This is not a fast job by any means. You certainly get faster as you go, but this takes some time. So another thing that I like to do is I like to listen to an Audible book. And right now I'm listening to Emma from Jane Austen. So this is a good time to put on an audio book and just work at it and just let your mind kind of go to another world. And before you know it, you're going to have all of those tacks removed. So let's get to that. The temptation might be to just loosen that braid and rip it back and then pull all those tacks out along with it. And yes, that can really work, but you will have flying tacks all over the place. So if you're doing this indoors, don't do that. I mean, do that at your own risk. I don't do that. I'm a little more careful about it because of my environment. So you can see that the tacks, see how they just stay right in that braid, and they're just on the other side. If you carefully remove it, then they kind of stay intact, get it? And then you can just dispose of them. Now I was going to save some of the tacks, but honestly, most of these bent when they came out. Let's see if I can show that. See how that, I hope you're able to see it. It's bent. It's no good. That's all going to be trash. The next step is to remove the staples, and let me show you up close what these little staples look like. Okay, so what we're left with are the staples, and I'm hoping that you can see these little shiny staples up here. Let's see if I can pull one out. Yep, there's one. And they are tiny and sharp, and they bend very easily. Are you able to see that? I hope so. Take my word for it. They're teeny tiny, and you don't want to lose these. They could be all over. But this is the reason I say to have a shop vac, because at the end of your work day, even if you're not finished the chair, go ahead and run the vacuum all over to get all these picked up. You don't want to leave these out. I'm going to go through, and this part is very painstaking, but I'm going to go through, I don't know if you can see these all up in here. I'm going to slowly remove all of these, listen to my audio book, and just pull them, get them all pulled out. One last word before I get to that part. Don't be tempted to leave the staples in there, because when you go to add new staples to hold the new and fresh fabric, they're going to be in the way, and you don't want those old staples in the way. Remove every last one that you can get out. Try your very best and get all those staples out of there. You don't want them in your way when you attach the new fabric. I keep forgetting to mention things, but one of the things that you want to think about when you're taking the fabric off is the order that you take it off. Take it off the sides and the back first, and then remove the interior of it. So you can see I've started to rip this off, and there's another layer of batting here. We're going to remove that, and there are also staples. And this, I'm able to pull this off just fine. And it's leaving the staple in there. Just be aware that if you do that, you could have staples going all over. And right here, you can see the fabric is so dry rotted. It's just gently pulling away, and it's leaving all the staples that I'm going to come back and pull those out. You can see how easily that's coming off. And just one staple was stuck in there. I'm still going to vacuum when I'm all finished because I don't want staples all over the place, so just be careful. Be ready to change your mind when you are reupholstering something, because I just made a great discovery. The underside of this is a really pretty burlap, and I've actually used brand new burlap by the yard to cover the back of furniture like this. In fact, I'll put a link down in the description of an antique settee from the early 1900s that I did a whole series on my blog, and we recovered the back of it with this burlap. It turned out beautiful. Well, there you go. Look how pretty that is. Now, I don't know if I can keep that because it has to be removed in order to add the good fabric on the other side, on the interior of this chair. So I don't know that I'll be able to keep it, but I just wanted to point it out. It's really pretty. If I'm able to remove it and salvage it in some way, I'm going to try, but No promises, because you can see how dry rotted the fabric was. This chair's from the 30s probably. So that means that this is pretty dry rotted too. But I just thought I would point it out, and I'm gonna give it a try. I don't think I'll have much luck, but I'm gonna give it a try. Scratch that idea. This stuff is too dry rotted. I'm not even going to try to save it. It is literally falling apart, and there's no way that I could salvage this enough to use it. So I'm going to gently pull it out. The staples, for the most part, are staying right here on the chair, and I'm just going to dispose of it. Taking this off like this will help me to see the staples, and then I'll be able to get them pulled out a little easier. Alrighty, I just got done with the back side, with both of the outsides and the back of the chair, and then I ran the vacuum all over everything. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm done. So far, I've got about, I'm going to say 2 hours in. And part of that is because I'm filming, so it kind of slows you down. But let me take you closer to the chair, and I'll show you what I've got done. I've removed all the sides and the back. All that's gone. And then this side, and also the arm pads that were here. And I'm wondering if I'm going to put them back on. I don't know, I kind of like the wood look. We'll see. I know it's a little rough. I know you can see where the groove is. We'll make that decision as we go. And then here's the front side. I've got the tacks out, of course, you saw that. But I need to remove the inside, back, and sides, and then the deck. So I don't think I'm going to get to that today. But you can see I've got all the tacks are out. All the tacks are out. Staples, I'm sorry, staples. They're all out. I went around and I vacuumed all the ridges really well to make sure that I had removed all of them. This is like a groove right here. That's where the staples go. So you don't see that, and then the trim covers over. But I've got all that removed, and pretty good day of work so far. After dinner, I might work on the inside of that chair, and I'll try to stick the camera on and, you know, record me removing that. But how thrilling is it to watch somebody pull staples out? It's not that thrilling. So anyway, we'll stay tuned for the next part. We'll see what's next, and we're going to tackle this chair and get it done. I appreciate you watching. I hope that you enjoy this video, and if you have any questions up to this point, please feel free to ask down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. And let's see what else. If this is the first time you're watching, we're in a series and we're going to upholster 2 of these chairs together. So I hope you can join me here by subscribing, and let's see what else. I think that's it. We'll see you next time.